Sneaky Linux back tonight with the first of the interviews. Yes, we're back. Right, the first guy we're going to use is a Linux user from Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. Now, he's agreed to do this with us. Really nice bloke for doing it. Thanks for doing it, Mike. He's a college professor, stroke teacher, stroke lecturer, whatever you want to call him. And he's a really nice guy. So anyway, Mike, why did you start using Linux?
Well, I went there initially as a bit of an experiment. I've always been kind of curious, like tinkering with my computer, and I'd heard of Linux in the past. I always thought it was something reserved for server rooms and the like. I soon learned that it's something anybody can use, and gave it a download, and I've been using it ever since. It's been 3 years now.
Well, you're using 9.10 Ubuntu here at the moment. That's Karmic Koala. How are you getting on with it?
Oh, I love it. I have no problems. I feel that I have absolutely no limitations compared to the alternatives. In fact, I feel that nothing that's not workable. I mean, certainly there are times when things aren't working for me, and often it's user error. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but I figure it out, and I find the Ubuntu user community tremendously helpful.
Now, also here you use Puppy Linux. How'd you get around that one? How'd you start using that?
I don't use it that intensely, not like I do with Ubuntu on my main system. I use it on, like I said, on the USB stick. I mostly use it when I'm in the classroom with my students to for the web and for media and presentation software, that sort of thing. And so I haven't really worked it too hard, so I haven't really encountered too many limitations. I think I did try to install some other applications, and I found that a little bit clunkier, certainly not as user-friendly as Ubuntu.
That's super. What do your students think about Puppy Linux when you're in the classroom and stuff,
Yeah, I love using it in the classroom because where I work is primarily, as you might expect, a Windows kind of enterprise, and so I love plugging in my USB stick and booting up Puppy Linux. And some of the students will notice, of course, and they'll ask, what is that, and they're always interested. Once I feel like it's an opportunity then to sort of educate them a little bit about their options, and they're always really amazed to see that I can run that right off a USB stick. So it's kind of fun.
Now, you're an Ubuntu user. Now, do you think Ubuntu will go real mainstream, or what? What's your opinion on that one?
I think it certainly can. I would love to see it go mainstream. I think it's a superior operating system compared to everything that I've used, and I've used Windows for a long time in the past before using Linux. I've had exposure to, of course, Mac, and I don't see why it couldn't. In terms of usability, it's very friendly. To give you some idea, my mother is 73 years old, and she has very little computing know-how. And I put Ubuntu on an old laptop that she had, and she operates with it just fine. My 6-year-old son is able to do the kind of computing that he does on a Ubuntu system. So I think it's great for everybody, and it's very usable, and I'd love to see it go mainstream.
Okay, Mike, final question, final one. Out of 5 stars, how many stars would you give 9.10 at this, Ubuntu 9.10 Karmic Koala?
I don't know, I guess 5. I mean, I think it just keeps getting better and better. Some of the earlier versions, were a little bit more, took a little bit more tweaking to get it to work just the way that I'd like, after an upgrade. I've had fantastic luck with this latest release, so I give it a 5 stars.
That's just simply great, mate. Simply great. Thanks for doing the interview. It's super duper. Really nice of you to do it with us. And I hope we get lots and lots of listeners, because this is more of a podcast than a video, really. Because it's a few thousand miles and with a few technical problems. And I'll explain all that another time. But hey. So, hope you like the interviews, chaps. Sneaky Linux out. Next one coming in a couple of days. See you later.